in the upper left in the blue. He is by far the scariest player online. Maybe a little less so offline, but this game is played online. It's Byun. And at the bottom right in the blue, the Korean GOAT, Maru. And I know I'm going to have plenty of people in the comments saying, well, just because I qualify this as the Korean GOAT instead of the GOAT, instead of the odds-on absolute best player of all time. But folks, Cyril's won 2 world championships. And, you know, he's one of, like, Rogue has a shot, okay? Rogue has a claim. He has also won actually, I think he's won, what, 2 Katowices in a BlizzCon. I would argue that Cyril's overall dominance makes up for, means that he is a little bit higher because, again, Rogue has this tremendous ability to look really good and honestly make the game look unfair, make it look like it's not even worth playing against him. And then the next series, he bombs out of the next tournament, he bombs out in the round of 32, and it's like, well, okay. which Rogue are you? Cyril just like consistently, maybe not consistently top 2 like he was in 2019 or 2020 or 2021. But before Oliveira shocked everyone, he was the reigning world champion. And, you know, he, even with last year being a bit of a downturn, he won several tournaments and he was looked pretty good. Like a bad tournament for Cyril is the round of 8. A bad tournament for Rogue is like the round of 64. All I know though is I wish we had someone in the game translating, because I can. So Maru and Byun are really good friends. You'll see that when they go play against each other, and Byun is going to invariably going to try to put Maru in a headlock. But on top of that, they are funny. They are funny people, and it's unfortunate we can't see too much of it. So like what was it? It was the PC Foreman tournament. I cast with Rushy like a year and a half ago, but we had the translator that we've used, that Alpha X used for King of Battles. We had him translating Double DB Choi, Brian, in the grand finals, and they're hilarious. They're so funny. They're just, but unfortunately, I don't know if Maddox is in this lobby, but he's also actively casting, so asking him to go and live translate on top of everything else is not going to happen. But where are we at in this game? Actually, pretty different openers. Did Maru go Reaper expand? Maru's going for a bit of a 2-on-1 here. Oh, interesting build. And I want to say, sorry, I was telling stories. I wasn't watching the opening well enough. Yeah, this was 2 barracks into a factory. 2 barracks command center factory. So something like that. So this is going to be heavy aggression coming out of Maru in game number 1. Now, unfortunately, well, I guess not. Fortunately, unfortunately, if you're a Maru fan, well, I guess if you're an Oliveira fan, Maru tried things like this against Oliveira, and it just didn't work out. I mean, any sort of aggression that Maru was going for, Oliveira found it, and through some combination of luck, skill, and divine providence. Like, and if you read Wheel of Time, there's the concept of the Taverine, people that shape fate around them effectively. That's what, I mean, I was talking to Zombie Grub in the green room because she's a big Wheel of Time fan. Yeah, you know, I've read these books. But Oliveira was clearly a Taverine. Like, the fate was shaping itself around his actions. As Byun goes for a bit of a drop here. Now, the big deal is he's going to get the scout. Okay, let me, there we go. Oh, no, actually, he didn't. He only saw 1 barracks. I thought he was going to get the second one. But anyway, Byun doesn't really get this. It maybe seeing that I'm out of Marines will tell him how much is there. But I'm glad he picked up and ran away because Stim was going to be done really soon. And you kind of want to keep that drop around. But into the natural, he's going to go. There's a bunker there. It's only 1. Byun, very, very disappointed by the fact that there's a bunker on the map. Anyways, we should see this pressure from Maru getting started rather soon. Stim is done. Double medevac on the way. So 14 medevacs, or 14 Marines. Well, actually, it's going to be 13. That 1 Marine is going to sit in the natural, but 13 Marines with stim running across the map here right around that 5-minute mark. And behind that, Maru is macroing up. He's got combat shields on the way. He's adding tanks. He's adding more barracks. Adding more barracks? I guess 3-1-1 into a third CC. Okay, fair enough. If Maru does not get the damage he wants here, Byun is going to pull miles ahead, right? His third command center is already on the way. But I don't know that he's ready for it. It is one Cyclone here. It's going to get a lock on one of these medevacs, but I mean, that Cyclone has to run away. Third base is, okay, there we go. Cyclone's dead. Medevac falls. Another one's going to get disabled, but the third base is canceled. That economically that we said that Byun was going to get is not really there anymore. And now Maru is biding his time. He's going to get the Raven too. Okay, well, you got the Cyclone, you got the Raven. You actually keep some of these Marines alive, and you deny the command center. Yeah, that's worth it for Maru. Absolutely, that's worth it for Maru. And behind this, he's got +1. Combat shield's just about done. He's getting his own third base. Not on location. I kind of expected that, but it's going to be on similar timing. And now he's going to get some worker damage. It's not going to be a ton. Byun can rotate on over. But even still, 2 workers right now, on top of everything else, is fantastic. But Byun, not to be outdone here, he's got 3 medevacs on the other side. This drop from Byun should time out with stim completing, so maybe that's going to be an opportunity him. Actually, he's just going to run in a little bit earlier. He scans out that there's nothing there, and there are 2 siege tanks in this army, so this is damn hard for Maru to go and deal with. And also, his army was on the map. And by the way, third base cancels, so that economic parity that he's built for himself is not going to be there. And +1's under threat too. So, well, actually, here comes the SCVs on the break, though. And this is going to be so expensive for Maru right now. 1 tank's going to fall. 13 SCVs have fallen. Actually, it's only going to be 14. That's expensive, and Maru is down 12 workers. But given the situation that was in, I mean, that felt like it was going to be a whole hell of a lot worse. Maru is all in, though. He's going to have +1. All right, that's good. He's up workers. But he's lost losing that third base that late into the game means that he does have to do counter pressure. It doesn't make sense for him to hang around and sit around and like do nothing, because he will just get out macroed in the extreme. And yeah, supply is not as important in TVT as it is in the other matchups, but I mean, it's when you're up double the supply, it kind of matters regardless of how good the tank count is. So Maru running across the map. He's not rebuilding his third base. He's getting +1 armor as his longevity into the game. Meanwhile, Byun counterattack on the other side. That drop from earlier, well, actually, no, sorry, it's the second one. 2 more tanks, 2 more medevacs, 16 more Marines, a Widow Mine. Maru's going to lose his base, but Maru in the other side, he has his entire army here. So 13 SCVs have already gone down. Vikings have to get targeted down eventually. There we go. After the SCVs hit the deck, and really, who's better in the base trade? It seems like Maru has done more, substantive damage. First, he sieged up the ramp. He's got 3 tanks here to the 2 tanks of his opponent, and the SCVs will be able to run away. Byun's SCVs cannot. So yeah, Byun is up workers right now. Oh, he's going to try to get some friendly fire on these tanks, but everything's going to pick up. KDA charge actually keeps some of the SCVs alive, but yeah, Byun is, never mind. I see him type, I'm like, it's GG. No, he's just talking, but it may be GG regardless, because while Byun is mining more, his production's camped. And now the rest of these SCVs are going to go down. Maru's going to be able to get out with his, or maybe bring them into his army. So Maru's double the army supply. He's going to be able to keep command. Well, actually, I guess Byun keeps this command center alive. But everything's coming up roses. And Maru, if he wants, yeah, he's going to tap out. Maru takes game 1. In the upper right, in the blue, in the red, excuse me, he's down a game in this series. It's Byun. And in the bottom left, in the blue, up 1 game, not 5. Not sure what my overlay is doing tonight. It is Maru. Oh, not my overlay, my the transition tech. It's been rock solid for like ever since I built it over winter break back in December. I don't know why it's doing this. I'm excited to dig into it probably tomorrow. Actually, it's as I'm recording this, it's 10:45, so I'm just gonna go to bed after this. I had an early morning. I presented my research effectively through a conference. It was a it's an internal conference, but it's a conference nonetheless. And hey, I won Like, I got best paper and best presentation, so we take that. So interestingly enough here, we don't even have a Reaper. Byun is being greedy as hell. Not even a Reaper expand. Well, he's going to get a Reaper eventually, but he's going Marine Reaper. And actually, you know what? As I say greedy as hell, I think this was more because he saw an SCV on the map super early and he actually caught it with his own. So he's just making sure that there's no problems. And man, Byun and Maru should write a novel together because they are just, they're talking. I can't talk, like, and I'm playing a game of StarCraft and my opponent is not nearly as good as Maru and Byun are. I can't talk this much. I'm too busy spamming, and I'm too busy spamming to make sure that I have really high APM. So then when I get myself supply blocked on 32, or I don't build the 30 Overlord, so I get myself supply blocked on 36. I can know that it's because I just have a really good APM. Clearly. But anyways, for now, game's going to pace. Byun's base is actually significantly faster because he went Marine expand. You know, he delayed his gas a little bit, made sure that he was going to be safe, and now the bunker's going to be done as the Reapers arrive, but nothing in the bunker just yet. So, wow. Oh, it's a fake. It's a bake. Wow, it's a fake. It's a bait. Thank you for the spoonerism. So, Maru dives in, sees the bunker, sees this a little hill, is like, I don't want to deal with that. The bunker, it was an SCV in the bunker. What a bait! What a fake! Well done there, Byun. That is actually so snazzy. As the Reapers are going to die on the main base, Marines are going to not target that down. Okay, there we go. But it certainly will trade a couple of Reapers for it, a couple units for it, or just take the positive trade. But still, I mean, putting an SCV in the bunker to make it look like it has something in it so you don't want to take the damage and run by is like some 700 IQ type of play. Love to see it. That's actually so cool. That being said, though, Maru is also up to his own wily tricks. He's got Ghost on... Wait, not Ghost. He's got Cloak on the way on these Banshees, and Cloaked Banshees are not a thing we see in TVT. If you're Gumiho, sure, fine. You know, Gumiho will do it. But Gumiho is not your standard Terran. In fact, there was a lot of conversation in Katowice, talking to people behind the scenes, like, wow, this was a really good patch for Gumiho, because what it did was it shook up the TVT meta. It removed some of the reliance on Ravens early game, mid game, late game. And what that meant was suddenly Gumiho could bring up all his random builds. The Hellion, well, it gets a Marine, and that means it can dive in, and it gets a Scout. It does not get damage done, but it gets a Scout that there are Banshees on the map. And I think that's going to be enough for Byun. He's now going to know where he needs to position his units. He can't be aggressive with his Ravens, just kind of wants to keep him at home. Maybe he doesn't know that because he has not seen Cloak, but better safe than sorry, right? And with the Cyclone and the Raven, this really should not get that much damage done, especially as Cyclones have been buffed. Their air target acquisition range, how close a unit in the air can get to them before they lock on, has been increased by 1. So that was primarily like an anti-Phoenix change, but it works pretty damn nicely against Banshees as well. So Byun should be pretty locked down here. But if Maru goes Hyperflight Rotors into mech, which is exactly what he's doing, maybe does that matter as much after? I don't know. This is going to be interesting. I'm excited for this. The Banshees, though, they're going to move around the right side. Not really find all that much, but they're also going to reveal Cloak is a thing. So Byun's going to feel very smart about keeping his Banshees at home. He's not going to put them on the map and look for some damage. And realistically, with auto turrets getting nerfed, lasting a couple less seconds, having 1 less armor, having less HP, it doesn't take a lot to knock them down. Ravens are a powerful harass tool in like the mid game when you're multitasking and doing whatever, but when you only have 2 bases to look at, yeah, it's not as powerful. But Maru's going up to 4 Banshees here. This is we're starting to approach the structure killing perspective, the structure killing number. I don't know if this is base killing certainly you can lift it, but certainly this is add-on killing. This is a tank or two randomly placed defensively killing. This is certainly cyclone killing, things like that. And this may catch Byun very off guard. So Hyperflight Rotors, again, this was buffed by 20 seconds, I think, on the patch. This is going to catch Byun off guard. Now, I do look where Byun has his Ravens and his Vikings. They are not there in the base. Maru scans that. He may think that they are elsewhere. But here come the Banshees diving in. That's just a dead tank. Well, there we go. Now there's a dead tank. And the scans, though, well, it's going to be a second dead tank here. One Viking is going to, or one Banshee is going to run away. And a tank for one, or a Banshee for one tank and one wounded tank, it's not worth doing. You can repair the wounded tank. So the first reveal of these Hyperflight Banshees really does not show the value that Maru was looking for. Now, it's not the end of the world. He can establish himself into the mid game. He has 3 bases. He's going to be on 6 gas. He's getting 1-1 on armor. And Byun has not necessarily scouted that this is mech yet. I know he has. Never mind. He's got the read. You know, yeah, what am I saying? It's 4 Banshees with Hyperflight Rotors. I mean, it's never not going to be mech. So Byun does have Marauders on the way. He's got 1-1 on the combat shields, all those fun things. But he's going to move out on the map right now because he understands that the Banshees did not get enough damage done. And the tank count is not going to be superlative just yet. It's only 4. And there's another dead Banshee. So, yeah, another dead Banshee that was just caught in the middle of the map. Maru still has 3, and that is, of course, 1-shot potential on workers. Actually, it's 2. That requires that, but even still. And he's finding himself a good position, knocking another tank down, though. And I like how Maru's playing these like mutas. You just kind of put them on the resupply lines as Byun tries to move out. Now this attack that Byun wanted to make, I mean, it's not going to happen. Oh, he's going to lose. Oh, he's going to lose combat shields too. Vikings are, never mind, they're going to arrive in time. So the Banshees get zoned out, but of course, they're Hyperflight Banshees. They go much faster than the Ravens do. You're not going to catch that. So the Banshees get out, but they do buy their pressure up. Okay, there we go. There's the repair. They do buy their pressure, force Byun back, and instead Byun has to get his 4th base delayed for a while because Hylians run in, and this means that by the time that Byun actually wants to get aggressive, 1-1's going to be done. Tank count's going to be 7, 8, 9, much harder to defend, or much harder to push into, and Maru is going to be past 150 supply, and normally, if you're looking for just a good heuristic of, oh, how do I judge whether how comfortable the meching player is or not, if the mech player is above 150 supply, they're feeling pretty good about their game. Oh, Byun got greedy, but he does get the Banshee at the end. I thought Banshee was going to be able to run away. Anyways, he does get a Banshee. Banshees run on to the other side. That's going to be a dead tank in the exchange. You got to figure eventually. Oh, there we go. Yeah, Banshees are all going to go down. Maru has not gotten the value. He forced Byun back from the push, but you can't help but feel that Byun would not have felt comfortable going for that push if he had not denied the first level of Banshee harass. So it's kind of a Stilo Mismo there, and then losing these Banshees for 3 tanks is something, but I don't know. I don't think it's the value that Maru wanted when he got like 5, 6 Banshees and Hyperflight Rotors. But anyway, Hellions now, they're going to try to dive in the 3rd base. I think they got a couple workers, maybe 1 or 2, but the Marauders are going to attack some of them and eventually chase this down. Yeah, there we go. 1 Hellion fall. We're not, if you're a bio player and you're playing against the mech player, you always want to stay 1 base up. Maru has his 4th base, Byun has his 4th, and we don't see a 5th command center on the map. To my knowledge, I don't. Yeah. I do like, by the way, that Byun has opted, oh, poor SCV. I do like, by the way, that Byun has opted for 4 orbitals. He understands that this is not an army that is going to be super aggressive outside of Hellions, which actually, as I think about that, Planetaries are great against Hellions. They're less good against tanks. But if you're worried about that, getting 4 orbitals, it just means that the bio player can get more money. But again, you do want to leave 1 base up, barring that, because Maru's got his 5th. As Byun has only just started his. Barring that, you do want to advance into Sky Mech, or Sky Terran just a little bit faster. Mass Raven, going to Battle Cruise is actually very good against most mech styles. Things like that can be very powerful, but you do that because you tend to take the map. You play like a Zerg against the meching Terran. Byun's not doing that one. He's going to try to crack this 5th base. He got a bunch of Marauders on the base, but now the tanks, they're going to have to siege up. 3 tanks are disabled as the Hellbats, they run forward. It's going to take a while for Byun to winnow his way through those. Meanwhile, the tanks are shelling away, and Byun's army is just not going to be able to fight through here. Byun loses both fights on the ground and in the air, and Maru keeps his 5th base alive. Honestly, I would have preferred if Byun had just stimmed in, taken some damage, but just tapped that base down and run away, because now Byun's in a heap of trouble. He's down 20 workers. His upgrades were actually they're not as good as the meching player. Maru has his 5th base. He's got a 6th base on the way, because why not? This is a sticky situation for Byun to deal with now. Well, Marauders are going to run forward here. Tanks are not yet sieged, but they can siege up pretty damn quickly. And as the Banshee, that should knock down the tank at the front line. It's going to force an unsiege here. Byun's looking for the surround. He's looking to be able to just absolutely pancake this army as Maru runs forward, or barring that, maybe get some counterattack damage. Actually, that's what seems this army is for, but Maru is going to wedge himself in outside the 3rd base, and the Banshee doing such a good job of knocking these tanks down. Wasn't incredibly effective early. Though this counterattack from Byun is getting so much. I didn't really believe in it, but it's knocked down Thors, it's knocked down Hellbats, and it is forcing Maru's army back. I was thinking, okay, yeah, nice, Byun, you get this counterattack, but this army of Maru is going to do more damage to you. Well, it forced the army of Maru back. Byun's been able to roughly remax. He gets his medevacs out. That's going to be very nice, and he's setting himself up for a bit of a flank here. Rocks go down. Those rocks aren't the most important thing. You need to attack from a couple angles here. So Byun stems forward. There's a tank that is not defended, so it's going to go down. And Maru is a very powerful army. He's got 2-2, but it seems like it's hard for him to get in position, as now the tanks are going to siege up. Byun does not want to be on this ramp, but he's going to stem forward, coming in from the right side. Full pancake move, moving in. Thors are going to fall. Tanks are going to fall. And is this going to be enough for Byun? One last tank remaining. He's going to get right on top of it. Yes, medevacs go down, but Byun swats the army aside, and that was pretty damn cost effective coming in on the, can't say the Korean Terran, they're both Korean. Pretty damn cost effective coming in from the Shopify Terran. And now the shoe's on the other foot. Maru's the one that has to sit back here, as Byun, yeah, the base count's not great. Byun has 5 bases, so too does Maru. Byun has a lot more agency on the map, and he has a much better ability to remax, to bring that supply right back on up, because it's just cheaper to build bio. But again, upgrades are a big thing for Maru right now. It's equal, sure, 2-2 versus 2-2, but 3-3 for Maru is going to be much faster for Byun. And it's not a strict comparison, right? It's mech versus bio. Point being, Maru's army is just scaling faster here, and the supply, Maru's already been able to remake himself, but the tanks on the right side, they're going to siege up, and this is a planetary. Planetaries go down in tanks pretty well. Barrio stims in, 2 tanks dead, and now it's Thor Viking Hellbat versus Siege Tank Marauder, and I kind of think I favored the Siege Tank Marauder army. Outside of the SCVs, they're just going to kill everything, because nothing in this army kills SCVs super well. That being said, 11 workers do go down. Thors move forward, and Byun does have to get this position up. It's crazy how good SCVs are against Hellbat or against Marauder tank. Like, it doesn't seem like it should be a thing, but Hellbat tank, kind of crazy. But SCVs, right? Because tanks don't attack quickly, Marauders don't attack quickly. SCVs just get on top of them, and they don't kill them in clusters. Tanks kill them in clusters as they attack, but you get within minimum range, and that doesn't matter. So it's always a bit surprising. Remember, these were 2-2 Marauders plus 1 tanks versus 0-0 SCVs, and they were that effective. But finally, we're starting to see Byun start to actually take an extra base on Maru. But because Byun has been so cost ineffective, he's 3. Honestly, I thought it was going to be worse, but he's not been able to establish his economy the way he would like. He got himself up to, what is that, 3 starports, and we're not really seeing him use them all that effectively. He's building more Vikings. You know, he's building 4 medevacs at a time briefly. We're not into that Raven count. We're not in the battle cruiser. He doesn't have good upgrades for his air either. Like, it's just, he got himself into the late game, and then he was never able to take advantage of that setup. And now tanks are on the ramp here. Byun comes in from multiple angles, but the Hellbats get dropped right on top of the army, and the Viking count that Byun's trying to build is just not there. So the tanks are going to move forward. But now there are not as many Hellbats, so the bio can maybe take their fight, but the tanks, they've got +3. Stimmed bio go bye-bye. And Maru continues to move in. That was not a good fight for Byun. The Hellbat bombs did so much. And now Maru finds his way into the natural here. SCVs are going to have to get pulled, folks. Marauders are horrible against SCVs. Hellbats, Blue Flame, +3. Very different story. So Byun is fighting desperately with his rally here, but the tank's already sieged, and Byun has to tap out. Maru now up 2 games. In the bottom right, down 2, not down 53. Not sure why that precision's doing what it's doing. Folks, it is Byun. And in the upper left, in the blue, winning a couple really fun games, a mech game, a crazy base trade game 1, it's Maru. And I feel like this is how things normally go with Maru versus Byun. You know, we get a bunch of really tight, hard-fought games. I mean, Maru versus Byun on Gressvan coming in during Katowice was one of the best games in the tournament until we just got better games in the tournament, which is crazy, right? But there were so many good games. Rainer Oliveira game 2, Creator Dark game 5, Spirit Cure, any of the last 3 games, I think, in that series. So many good games. But Maru and Byun on Gressvan was one of them, certainly. It was actually really funny. But, so, I was at Katowice, I was in Poland, and there was a bar craft happening near away. Roughly near to the arena. So after I finished my broadcast for the day, because B-Stream ended a little earlier, I hightailed over and I made the barcraft where everyone was playing, or where everyone was watching. And Tasteless and Artosis was broadcasting. It was the last day of the game of the day, and it was a high-profile one. And there were a couple times where, in unison, because I'm just listening and I'm like talking to people, like, something should happen. And in unison, Artosis and I don't even express the same sentiment. We say the exact same damn thing. I wish I could remember exactly what it was, but it's just like, what I really wanted was someone who was at the barcraft to go up to him during the signing session and be like, hey, Artosis, you owe Bayo a Coke. Like, he jinxed you really hard at the barcraft. That's not going to happen. But what will happen, hopefully, is 5 games in this series. But in order for that to happen, Byun needs to clean it up just a little bit. He didn't really... I have not been a fan of how... Oh. He just canceled a reactor. Did he not have enough gas? Byun? He doesn't have gas for whatever he's going to make. He's not building anything out of this barracks. What the hell? That's a massive mistake. Like, that is... whatever that's going to be. Tech lab, factory, probably a tech lab. Yeah. Canceling that is just... It puts you so far behind of what you want to do. And it's good. It seems like Byun is aware of that. He tells Maru he made a big mistake, and Maru is excited about seeing it, watching the replay, I guess. Who knows? This may not impact things all that much, but it will be... Byun taking a page from Maru's book. And he's going to be going Cloaked Banshee. Very, very quick Cloaked Banshee, by the way. Like, this is by... I was going to say this is the fastest Cloaked Banshee you can go for, but unfortunately he canceled his tech lab, so... Not quite as quick as possible, but he is cutting so many corners to make this happen. No, he's not getting anything on the ground. He's just got a Widowmine in front that's going to take some of the power out of this push, and eventually, you know, he's going to have some Marines here. And that really is the big problem. You know, he's got a Marine, a Heli, and a Reaper on the right side, but he could have a couple more Marines again if he'd made the tech lab earlier. And that would mean that any sort of early pressure coming in from Maru would be harder to make happen. But instead, that's not going to happen. And Byun is going to get away with his mistake. It's not going to massively impact the flow of this game. Now, Banshee's out. Cloak is almost done. And where's the Raven? It's out here. Okay. We have a Cyclone. Is this straight tank? Yeah, it was. So there is not a lot of anti-air available to Maru right now. He's got 8 Marines that have to be in the proper position. And Banshees can always dive around that. But Byun is... shift clicking back. I guess he wants to pair the Banshees up, but I mean, this second Banshee is going to get scouted here. So I feel like Byun could have had an opportunity to find some value there, but instead he pulls his Banshee back. I guess he doesn't want to show it until they're paired, and in doing so, he reveals the tech. And now there's a Cyclone on the way. Yeah, there's a timing that Byun can hit when the Cyclones is not out, but there are 2 Banshees, 2 Ravens on the map. Cyclones are on the way. I don't. This had an opportunity to get a ton of damage, but instead it's just going to get a modicum of damage to the Marines. Now that's actually a lot of Marines going down. Not a ton of anti-air here anymore, but the Banshees, they want the mineral line. That's what they're looking for. As an auto turret does get dropped. One Banshee getting pretty low. Second auto turret is actually going to kill the Banshee. So it's a single Banshee here, and a couple more workers are going to go down. Actually, that's a lot of more workers are going to go down. It's the single Banshee that's causing problems even more than the double Banshee is, but now there's a Cyclone. So that's going to be the end of that one. 7 workers for 2 Banshees is something. But now here comes Byun. Up the gullet. Force his opponent into one tech and maybe taking advantage of another. Widowmine, it's just there. It's the tanks, the Marines, the Raven that are the powerful thing. In fact, here goes Maru. He's salvaging the bunker. He doesn't want to lose that money. He wants to get 75 of it back. The slow push from Byun continues. Now, there are 2 Ravens here, and he knows the energy has been spent, and now there's going to be a disable on the tank that Maru has. This is so smart from Byun here, reading the game state, realizing that these Ravens are useless for quite a while, so he can shove his way in. Now the Natural's under heavy threat here. That's a lot of damage. A 3rd tank's going to join the fray. Cycle lock-ons onto a Reaper. Who cares? SCVs are going to get pulled, and great target fire there down on the Widowmine. It means it's not going to kill the SCVs. And despite everything, this was a pretty nice push from Maru, or from Byun. Maru holds on, loses 12 workers. His economy's not in the best spot, but he is able to hold on. And now maybe he's got something that he can do. He's up a little bit in army supply. He still has those Ravens. His tech's doing a little better. The Banshee, though, is going to try to die. A 3rd Banshee. Actually, yeah, 2 Banshees have died, right? Yeah, 3rd Banshee's going to join the fray. No one expects the 3rd Banshee. So this is actually going to get a lot of damage done. Nothing's in position. Ravens have to run home, but the mass repair is going to be good. So Banshee flies itself into a corner, but it cannot run far enough. So that's a dead Banshee. As Maru is apparently rather perturbed at the constant Banshee harass. Byun's going to scan out the Natural. He gets a good idea of where the army is because he wants to get aggressive again, or at least he has the idea of getting aggressive again, but he's not going to do that. Not just yet, because the entire army of Maru is in the Natural. In fact, Maru's looking to move out a little bit. He's got his 3rd command center now, I've got to assume. Yeah, that was never canceled. So he's got his 3rd command center. He's establishing position on that. And this pressure that Byun has been able to put on, and again, he's up 13 workers right now. He does have to be careful because Maru, as a result of that, is up significant army supply. And Byun has been a greedy, greedy boy. He's the Liberator. Oh, there's actually no anti. It's a single Marine. I mean, his Marine's dead. But Byun's being a greedy, greedy, greedy boy. He's taking his Natural on location. Meanwhile, Banshee or Raven finds his way on the other side. Auto turret gets a couple workers. Liberator is forced back here on 2 HP. But this pressure coming in from Maru right now is terrifying. He's up 20 workers, or 20 army supply. He's got 1-1, Byun does not. He's got stim, Byun does not. He's got combat shields, Byun does not. And Byun's 3rd base is so vulnerable right now. In fact, Maru is pulling the SCVs in game 3 of a TVT. You never see this, folks, but it's going to happen right now. The boys go up the gullet here, and the cycle will, okay, anti-armor missile tank's going to get disabled. 2nd tank, and, well, the SCVs, they buffer enough damage here. Everything's going up forward. Defensive SCVs get pulled, but it's just not going to be enough. Maru with the absolute killer instinct. He pulls the SCVs in a TVT, and it seems like that is going to be enough to do it here. Well, yeah, the tanks are going to be a little bit too much, and as the rally comes in for Maru, a Liberator is nice, but there's a cycle in there. Marines that are going to be able to eventually kill that off. The Natural's broken. The 3rd base is going to be allowed to complete, but at this point, pulling the SCVs in a I can't get over it. Pulling the SCVs in a TVT is just insane. Now, is the game going to end right now? Maybe not. It's hard for Maru to make his way up the high ground with the Liberator, with the tank. But 3rd base, yeah, Byun's going to tap out. He realized that this game is over. His goose is cooked. Maru wins by pulling the boys. I know I keep saying it, but it's kind of crazy. But folks, if you like this, first of all, you're at the end of this video, which means you like the video enough to watch it, which means you should subscribe and drop a like and comment and all that. But also, I upload videos 6 days a week. You should check those out. And specifically, we've got Serral Ladder Diaries on Wednesdays, or on Tuesdays, and Maru Ladder Diaries on Saturdays once I start to get the replays from Maru. Also, I stream on Twitch every Monday and Saturday, 7 p.m. Eastern for EPT North America, 11 p.m. Eastern EPT Korea on Saturday, and also 11 p.m. Most Thursdays for KSL. Thanks for watching.